Well, hey everybody, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kristina. This is where we read books, talk about books, nothing special going on here. No theme music, nothing fancy here. It's just me talking books with my limited equipment here. So I'd appreciate it. The likes and subscribes, thumbs up, please. Thank you very much if you're a subscriber already. Most appreciative. Please spread the word that I exist. I'm here. Little old me is here. So anyway, it's been a while. I had to gather these. It took a while to get these. It's been a while. You'll have to check out last year, maybe July, August, I believe was the last one. So it's been a while. It's taken a little bit, but I've got the last four or five. So we're gonna do a binge read of the five, but in between we'll do Patterson and somebody else. But we're back to our humorous gal, and I have missed her severely. JANA DELEON, Swamp Sweeps, book 21, I believe. I will double check. 21 in this series. If you do not know, you have to go back and listen to all the previous podcasts. It was just awesome. This is funny. It's light reading. It's an easy read. It doesn't take long, couple hours tops. But I really suggest, and I'm sorry I didn't go look, you do the audiobooks because then you can listen and enjoy and laugh your ass off. You will literally laugh your ass off. I had this spiel, but it's really not prevalent anymore. But Fortune is a former CIA agent who was hiding out in Sinful because there was a bounty on her head. Well, the bounty's been taken care of. They cleaned it all up, blah, blah, blah. But she's still hanging out with Ida Bell and Gertie. And so we've got Fortune, the former CIA, who's now opened Swamp Team 3 with Ida Bell and Gertie as her partners. And I'm sorry I didn't write down the investigation term. It wasn't used in this book. I should get one of the other ones and look. Sorry. So anyway, and Carter is the sheriff, the deputy sheriff. I wish he would be promoted, but they have to wait for the 105-year-old guy to pass away. And as Carter's going to be forever the deputy sheriff, I swear. So he's also her Fortune's love interest. And we have Ida Bell and Walter, Ida Bell's husband. She's also president of Sinful Ladies. They do the cough syrup. There's a whole nother line there that's alcohol, really. But because they can't sell alcohol in their town, they sell it as cough syrup. And we have Allie. She's a terrific 100% baker. She's getting ready to open her own store in this book, her own bakery. And then we have Celia, her aunt, the arch emesis, and she's president of God's Wives, the alter ego to the Sinful Ladies, which Ida Bell is in charge of. And Gertie is dating Jeb. We haven't seen much of him in this book. And Emmeline is Carter's mom. Ronald is a gray cross-dresser who lives next door to Fortune, and he becomes quite useful in several of the books. He's been funny. He's a little bit of a comic relief, but not as much as Gertie is. And then we have Scooter, who's a mechanic, and Gavin, the new daytime dispatcher, and we have the mayor and stuff like that, but she's not prevalent in this book. So we start off with a little bit of a funny episode. They're in the store. And Gertie has a parrot. It might be a cockatiel. It talks. I have its specific classification somewhere. I didn't get it out. I'm sorry. I apologize. So they're in They're in the store. What are they talking about? When does she walk in? Oh, they're talking about one of Gertie's old instances, and they're in Walter's store. Walter has a general store where he sells basics, and so where is it? Place Matt's body in the cooler, Francis said. We'll back for it later. We all stared. Why the police didn't hang on to that bird, I have no idea. I said they could just run through a list of missing persons and probably wipe out half of their cold cases. I hate touching them before they're cold, Francis said. That bird would give me nightmares, Allie said. Well, at least you didn't have a cooler in there yet. Ali said, Is that your idea of a silver lining? I shrugged, just trying to help. The girls are packing for a weekend trip. They're going to go hunt turkeys. Oh, well, Fortune isn't going to hunt turkeys. She's going to sit in the recliner in the cabin and read books. And she's going to let Ida Bell and Gertie do it. So they're at the store getting some last minute supplies. And so Celia, uh, uh, this. You're not supposed to have that bird in public places, Celia said. Isn't a public place, Gertie said. It's a private business, and the only person who can ban Francis is Walter. Since Francis' last visit to the general store had resulted in 2 destroyed displays, the thief of some fruit, and unfortunate pooping accident, I wasn't convinced that he was going to back Gertie up on this one. But apparently his dislike for Celia was far stronger than his dislike for cleaning up bird poop. The bird is welcome, Walter said, his tone implying that Celia was not. But Celia wasn't giving up. I see Ida Bell's SUV parked right out front, which means you walked on public street and sidewalk to get in here. That's illegal. So call Carter and tell him to come arrest me when I leave the store, Gertie said. We'll see if he can get the cuffs on before I get into the SUV. It will be like a game. Let's play a game, Francis said. It's called Russian roulette. Celia's eyes widened and I grinned. Just finish up your business, Celia, Ida Bell said. The only one keeping you in the presence of Francis is you. No one likes Celia or her big panties, Francis said. I didn't think Celia could get any redder, but she managed to, then grabbed a loaf of bread on the counter and swung it at Francis. She missed and got Gertie right across the face. The tie fell off the bag and slices of bread flew all over the store. She's been bitch slapped, Francis cried, flapping his wings. I sank onto the floor, laughing so hard I couldn't even stand up anymore. Ida Bell and Walter were both clutching the counter and grasping for air. Gertie stared at Celia in disbelief, then grabbed a container of dish soap off the counter and dumped the entire thing over Celia's head. You crazy old crow, Celia yelled and launched her hands reaching for Gertie's throat. I didn't have time to jump up and intervene, so I did the one thing I could do and lie about later on I stuck my foot out. Celia hit my foot and yelled as she slammed into Gertie, and they both tumbled into a fruit display. Francis took off from Gertie's shoulder as she fell, but he was connected by the leash on his foot and was just flapping around in a circle, yelling, Just kill them all, as loud as possible. As I jumped up, Ida Bell pulled out her knife and cut the leash, and Francis took off for a high shelf, but not before depositing a show of his supreme displeasure right on Celia's forehead. I reached down to help Gertie up as Celia grabbed her forehead, then drew her hand away, screaming as though we'd just dosed her with acid. You'd think we threw holy water on her, Gertie said. The door chimed, and I looked over to see Carter stroll in. Celia was sitting upright now, the bird poo mixed with dish soap starting to run down her nose. The rest she'd smeared into her hair. Gertie had two slices of bread hanging out of the top of her shirt, which had gotten yanked down in the fray and would have been exposing entirely too much cleavage if it wasn't for the bread. Frances had spotted the fruit on the floor and was now sitting in the middle of what had to be the best buffet ever from a bird's perspective. Maybe I'll just pick up my groceries later, Carter said. That's probably a good idea, I said. Oh, no, you don't. Celia managed to crawl up the counter and pointed her finger at Carter. I want that woman arrested. She has that bird in here, and look at all this damage. He attacked me and took out the display. Carter looked at the rest of us. Is that how it happened? Not even remotely close, I said. In fact, Celia took the first swing. With a loaf of bread, Ida Bell said, shaking her head. That doesn't count. I was trying to hit the bird. Maybe you could all finish up your business here and leave Walter with some remaining displays, Carter said. Celia glared at Carter. Marie is not going to be the mayor forever, and when someone with some decorum takes office, they'll be getting rid of you. Carter smiled. Guess we'll just have to see, right? Walter, you done ringing up Miss Arsenault's goods? I rang her up as she shops to save time, Walter said, and pushed the bags across the counter. Celia put her hands on her hips and glared at Walter. I guess you're not going to take them to my car. Nope, Walter said. My wife's a better shot than you. We all started laughing again, and Celia grabbed her groceries and stomped out of the store. Walter shook his head. I keep thinking that she'll get tired of my being rude and doing her shopping up the road, but so far no luck. She'll never stop because she knows it annoys you, I said. What are you three troublemakers doing here anyway? Carter asked. I thought you were going hunting. And they do. So they pack up their groceries and they head out to this deluxe cabin that looks like a total shack from the outside, total crumpled shack. And yet, when you go in the door, it's clean, it's fancy, it's got all new furniture, it's got surround sound, it's got a screen TV mounted on the wall, it's got recliners, it's got a kitchen, it's got a bedroom. It's all fancy schmancy. And I am like some characters in here and there's somebody in here that says that I think it might be Allie. And I think Fortune says it too at one point. I prefer my turkey with the name Butterball or Farm Fresh or anybody else from the grocery store. I don't want to think about it any other way than from the grocery store. But they do end up getting some turkeys, and there is some hijinks, some miscalculations that are hysterical. And while they are trying to transport said turkeys in their little boat, and Fortune throws the turkey into the boat and misses the boat, and when it misses the boat, it goes in the water in the bayou. And they reach down to grab the turkey that was in a trash bag for traveling purposes, and accidentally come up with a dry cleaning bag with a body in it. And they open said bag, and not only does it have a body in it, but it has money in it too. Lots and lots of money. And the victim was shot dead. So we have a mystery, and we've got to call Carter, and Carter's got to be like, good grief, you found a body. And she's like, uh-huh. So we have some character development in here. Allie is going to get or begin a sort of kind of, we don't date for a book, maybe the next book of the book after, I'm not sure. But Allie is going to get a romantic interest. she's gonna open the bakery in the next book because it ends with a little bit of a bakery thing in here. And we didn't get to see the Herberts, our other security peeps. They are fun to be around. They are very trustworthy and they love Fortune to death. Um, but we get to see some Carter's mother. She's such a lovely person. And you will have to read the book for Who's Killed Miles Broussard and Who Came Back from the Dead. And you'll never believe the whodunit. You won't see it coming. It'll come out of left field. It's the last person you expect to think of the killer, and it's unbelievable that this person would kill this other person because of the situation between the persons. Trying not to spoil too much there, but I have an author that says when stuff happens on the page, it's considered on stage, and when stuff happens off the page, like you're told about, oh, I did this yesterday. You don't see what they did yesterday. The person is just telling you what they did yesterday. So, oh shoot, I lost my point. So, the who done it. Sometimes you have the person, the killer, make a steady stream of appearances. Sometimes you have them make a hello and goodbye type appearance, and then you never see them again. We actually see the killer in a few different segments in this book. So they're not a total stranger, but it will shock you. So I hope you enjoyed this silly book as much as I did, and we're going to go on to the next one and do some others. Don't forget Star Trek Fridays. Please don't forget Flashback Mondays, and don't forget my new series, If Then. It's going to be airing on Fridays after Star Trek, so please check out Star Trek first and then do the If Then. If you like this type of book, then you might like this type of book. We started with the Bridgertons and the Mallorys and the Sherbrooks, and we're going to head into Patricia Cornwell's. We're going to do amateur sleuths. We're going to do detective. We're going to do cops. We're going to do medical thrillers. We're going to do sci-fi. We're going to do Jim Butcher. We're going to do Turtle Dove. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. So I hope you'll please hit the like and subscribe and follow me on my daily reviews. Thank you very much.